Things are looking very, very, very bad for Lil Durk. This situation with the second murder that they're apparently going to be putting on him, rumor has it that prosecutors are planning to add this extra murder to a superseding indictment in Lil Durk's existing murder for hire charges. It's just so bad, all right? They're saying that I think it's June the 3rd. They've got like a week and a little bit to file these charges, but now it's just being released. Exactly why Durk might be cooked. Because the person who committed that other murder, allegedly a murder for hire, allegedly because of a bounty that Durk put up on this person's head, he's taken a plea deal and he is admitting to the feds that, yes, I participated in this murder for hire because of a bounty. It's really bad, all right? So look at this. It says, Marley, the second suspect in the murder of Stefan Mack, has accepted a plea deal with federal government. He's set to serve 30 to 35 years in federal custody with no possibility of a parole. But here's where he might get out of this, right? We've heard this before. People be taking plea deals. He taking a plea deal. He pleading guilty. He taking 20 to 30 years. Yeah, 30 to 35 years. Yeah, sure. Before cooperating, before helping out. Now, we've not got it confirmed that he's going to cooperate, but I think that the reason this is all going on is because the prosecutors are getting all their ducks in a row. They're saying, okay, well, look, we're not going to put the Stefan Mack murder on Durk yet. Let's use it to deny him bail, but we've not resolved things yet. Okay, all right. Now we're working on this Stefan Mack murder. Okay, we got the two guys in custody. Okay, we got all the evidence. Okay, we're putting a pressure on them. Okay, let's get one of them to take a plea now and basically say, okay, there was a bounty. Okay, great. Now we've got them ready to line up Lil Durk and we've got all the evidence we need. Now we're ready to drop that superseding indictment in a week. So step by step by step, they're cornering Durk and making the situation worse. It says, Marley, the suspect in the murder of Stefan Mack, accepted a plea deal. He's set to serve 30 to 35 years in federal custody without the possibility of parole. There might be a possibility. In his plea, he admits his role in the murder, and the reason for participating is because there was a bounty placed on Stefan Mack. Well, who could have possibly put up the bounty, right? So this is going around on Reddit as well, that same post, okay? And here is some information from the sentencing. This is where things get a little bit spicy, okay? So it said the agreement, the parties have agreed the sentence imposed by the court. It would be imprisonment in custody of the Bureau of Prisons, not less than 30 years, not more than 35 years. Each party is free to recommend whatever sentence they deem appropriate within this range. Other than the agreed term of incarceration, parties agreed the court remains free to impose the sentence it deems appropriate. If the court accepts and imposes the agreed term of incarceration set forth, defendant can't withdraw their plea. If the court refused to propose an agreed term of incarceration set forth herein, thereby rejecting the agreement, otherwise refuses to accept the defendant's guilty plea, either party can withdraw. Defendant acknowledges that pursuant to Title 18 of the United States Code, all right, the court must order defendant together with any other jointly liable co-defendants to make full restitution to victims in an amount determined by the court. So he's got to pay money towards the victim. And then it says this is a plea agreement between Andrew Boutros and the defendant Preston Powell, known as Marley, and his attorneys. They've agreed the following. The superseding information in this case charges the defendant in violation of Title 18. They did carry a firearm in relation to a crime, which he may be prosecuted in a court of law. It doesn't actually say that he has admitted the role for a bounty in this paperwork. But that's what they're saying. So I would actually like to see the full paperwork. So it says it is part of his plea admitting he accepted payment, and it says he admitted to a bounty. Yes, this shit over with. Yeah, this shit over with, right? 30 to 45 years in the feds for a body. He might not be snitching. That's still a good chunk of time in the feds. It says they're going to use this as evidence in Durk's trial coming up if the judge allows it. I think that's why his shit got pushed back. I think they're cleaning up certain parts of their overall trial in case he get off on something else, and they still have murder for hire in the Atlanta shooting. Dudes think he beaten that shit, but this looks like assurance. They're going to use this as an overt act in his LA murder for hire case. The middleman is dead who spoke for Durk. This is more likely they're trying to show that he is a shot caller. He's literally on a recording telling a prisoner who wore a wire exactly how the murder happened in great detail. He was overcooked. This dude been in solitary confinement for so long, bro. That's 23 hours in a 4x4 cell every day. Only 1 hour of freedom from that cell. That's one of the many ways to experience hell on earth. People saying, who snitched? It's over with. He got a DJU interview waiting for him when he gets out in 2066. People saying, was he from Mike City just like AJ? Why did the blog post not put up the full paperwork on IG or Twitter? They must be implicating somebody else. What else he got to speak on as part of this plea? What's this going to be? Is this going to be... I ain't heard this before. What's this going to be? Is this even going to play, or is this deleted video? I don't think this is going to work. Okay, that wasn't really worth listening to, but he basically just said free his brother Marley. All right, we done heard that. But anyway, okay, the CCTV footage of the murder has been going around for quite some time. Just for the record, you don't actually see a murder take place on screen, but what you do see is a man running across and then a couple of guys running out here with firearms. So this happened back in 2023. Stefan Mack was leaving a youth center in Chicago when he was gunned down by two people, AJ and Marley. Marley is the person who just took the plea deal. But basically, they were banged to rights. Not only are they saying that Marley was apparently, you know, on the phone in jail talking about the whole hit and how it went down, but, you know, they've been caught on surveillance footage. Apparently, Marley was kind of easily recognized by his build, and they had a whole lot of evidence. So let's just see what's going on here. I think, is that Stefan Mack right there just walking out? He's kind of looking over the parking lot, trying to see what's going on. Might realize something's up, and then as you can see, these guys jump out of this car with firearms. They start shooting, and it's just a pretty crazy situation. He runs away. They chase after him. So that guy's running with the rifle, and I'm pretty sure, is this Marley over here? And I believe they even shot at a security guard that actually popped their head out the door to see what the hell was going on with these shots fired, and then this individual runs away this direction. So we actually see what looks to be, this is Marley, I believe. And he was very easily recognized. They said that they recognized his build from the scene. And weirdly, he kind of runs off in a different direction. I think he tucks his gun away, and he just running off down the street randomly now. Okay. And this kind of shows, I actually haven't seen this angle before. This shows a different angle of Stefan walking out, and they bail out this car and get to shooting. I don't know if I can actually show you this part, to be honest with you, but I'm going to blur it. I'm going to blur some stuff. So they basically chase him down over here. They run after him in the snow as well. It's crazy. And he's kind of shooting at him from a distance and then chasing him down. Meanwhile, Marley runs off in the complete opposite direction after allegedly popping it at the guy at the door. I think we actually see that here. Security kind of hops out from the door to see what's going on, and then he starts shooting at him too. That's crazy. I'm definitely going to have to blur that. That's wild. So, yeah, Marley was easily recognized. Okay, they spotted him. Everybody knew it was him. They knew what was going on in this hit that was allegedly sent from Durk. Photos from the Stefan Mack murder, non-graphic. So you kind of already saw all of this, but that's him running away there. And as you can see, it was just a very messed up situation. So, yeah. That's how they identified him, all right, from his social media, him posing with guns. They recognized him. They recognized his build. They're saying, bro runs like the Grinch. So this is kind of a breakdown of everything that goes down. It's an overweight shooter. Yeah, they got a lot of evidence. It says, at this point, if Durk doesn't get the death penalty, he should consider it a blessing because he for sure getting life without parole at a minimum. Money talks. I say bro be out in 2030. 2030 for a double homicide. Only way that happens if he snitches on Lil Jojo's killer. Right? So here's the thing. A lot of people want to get on my case talking about, oh, you know, you're just hating on Durk. The evidence for years has been that Durk is responsible for these things. All right? Everybody knows that. It's a mafia type Sammy the Bull. He would need to give up someone bigger, but whose labels? Nobody's bigger. They're saying Durk needs to snitch on Jay-Z if he wants to get out of this. All right? There's basically just no way he's getting out of this. It's never happening. 2030 is never happening. I don't care how much money you got. These are gang-related, hired hits. The feds like to target the powerful guys with money. For him to get at least 20 years, he'd have to confess in every detail, every crime he's ever been involved in. If he lies or leaves out one detail, then he will get life or the death penalty. Then people saying cash, cash, cash. That's the third murder. Okay, I'm confused. How is Durk linked to this killing? What's the evidence? I'm assuming he paid for the hit. Allegedly, he paid for the hit. Probably a paid hit. And he'd be rapping about it too. And he preaches, if you ain't having nothing to do with it, don't claim the hit. All right? So they're saying that Chrysler's the 600 Hitmobile. He said, when a dude died and another dude died, we thangin'. Bro was confessing. All right? That is, yeah. that is several Durk lyrics that have confessed to this, right? So people saying doing a drill in the snow is crazy. So what was the summary? Was Stefan confirmed to have killed D-Thang? No, Tay-Town was just thirsty to kill anyone from Smashville, and he had family connections to 051 Melly, who would terrorize Durk and his friends for years. But anyway, okay, if it's true they was paid from someone, how much do you think? They're saying 25 to 50, possibly 100K since Durk was so thirsty. Meanwhile, Wallow was crying, begging Buddy not to get back for his brother. It's crazy because that interview was after this, wasn't it? All right. Wallow be a little too late. That is funny when you think about it. Like Wallow, Gilly and Wallow, they're crying, talk about don't get back for your brother, man. He been got back. He been got back, bro. You're wasting your breath. Now, a lot of people have been trying to discuss, what was the exact reason for basically Stefan Mack to die. And a lot of people are basically saying that, look, it's not just because... Well, basically, there's people saying this is GG Puke from Dump Street. This is allegedly the guy who killed Durk's brother D-Thang. He's locked up right now, and according to the recent FBI sealed document of Stefan Mack's murder, it is connected, okay? So it said CHS-1 also indicated that D-Thang was killed by members of Dump Street. According to CHS-1, Dump Street is a GD faction on the south side of Chicago, and according to CHS-1, Dump Street member individual A was a close associate of Stefan Mack. According to law enforcement records, individual A is currently in pretrial custody for allegedly having committed a double murder that took place in Country Club Hills, Illinois. So I believe they're saying GG Puke is individual A, the person who killed Durk's brother. So it says he's already inside for a double murder. It says not a lot of people know, but he was a paid hitman. But he's worse at it. He's getting caught and shit. So people said that before. I thought it was just a rumor. That's 3 different bodies, 2 at the same time. It ain't far off. Said he caught them 3 bodies within a span of 3 months too. He's a whole demon. A whole dummy, you mean. Saying he get wild for real. Up 12 hats if you know, you know. Wait, are they talking about Durk? Are they talking about Durk? He's already inside for a double murder. He get wild for real. Up 12 hats if you know, you know. One of Satan's greatest soldiers. The real steppers be the ones that ain't known. Money make them killers pop outside who you ain't seen before. Said dude goes by Puke. That's sick. Puke from Dump Street. Literally nasty patty ass name. Pronounced Pook. To anybody saying it doesn't mention him doing it, if you read the files, it clearly says they're 100% alluding to it. D-Thang, Dump Street, and GG Puke were mentioned only once in one page. And this is after they said Durk was willing to pay anybody close to the killer of D-Thang. Put 2 and 2 together. They're basically saying that Stefan Mack was close to the killer of D-Thang, which is individual A, and that's the reason he got killed. They're saying Durk got a GD killer subscription. That's crazy. So let's read this again. So according to CHS-1, conversations with Chicago Police Department gang officers who are familiar with the Black Disciples, social media postings and public source research, and a review of Lil Durk's lyrics. Lil Durk's a member of Lamron faction of the Black Disciples, and according to CPD records, Lil Durk's brother Dante Banks Jr., aka D-Thang, was shot and killed outside of a nightclub in Harvey, Illinois, June 2021. CHS-1 reported Lil Durk was and still is offering money for people to kill those responsible for his brother's murder, and more specifically, offering to pay money for any gangster disciple that's killed. CHS-1 indicated D-Thang was also killed by members of Dump Street, a GD faction on the south side of Chicago. Dump Street member individual A was closely associated with Max. So basically, yeah, right. Still a lot of hearsay, but Durk is behind now in court, saying this dude cooked double homie, who's trying to be Satan's greatest soldier. All right, this is why Durk don't rock with Lamron. They never got back for D-Thang. You would think Mona Duke would have done it since he getting all the benefits. Man, this informant really on some bitch-ass shit. Singing like Mariah on a homie that handled business. Really no honor in this game. Ain't never been honor in this game. You dumb for getting into this game thinking there was honor. Who told you there was honor in this game? There's never been honor in this game. This is a dishonorable world. Catch a dump from the dump. I'm going to slump all of y'all. He apparently said that in an unreleased song called Survivor. So, yeah, it's pretty damning, okay? And after he was killed, Lil Durk was posting. He was snitching on himself, of course, all right? Lil Durk's IG story right after Stefan Mack from Smashville 085 got killed back in 2022. He posted for D-Thang. Aha! And what's this? OTF. Only Trey folks. What, your criminal gang, your criminal organization that organizes these murders? No, it's just a record label. No, it's not. Right? No, it's not. Only Trey folks, okay? For D-Thang. Aha! Right after the guy got killed. MS acting surprised like he ain't been telling us what he do in his music. I'm so tired of people just like, oh, look, Ross, you're so harsh on Lil Durk. You're so hard. Bro, why did you post this right after the guy got killed? OTF's just a label. It doesn't look like it's just a label. It looks like it's a logo you post up after people get killed. This isn't normal behavior. This has never been normal behavior for musicians, okay? So of course not. Most of them he's been claiming he's just capping, playing street, especially the YB fans. They ignore his years of mugshot charges and family upbringing, okay? Looking back, Durk was not moving right at all, and I'm surprised he wasn't smarter than this. Me too. I'm not sure that he wasn't moving right. I think he was grieving and dealt with it the only way he knew how. He'd already lost his cousin, best friend, manager, loads of people. People go delirious when they lose one person, never mind multiple people before 30. Okay? Money doesn't cure a lack of cognitive development. Environment, unfortunately, does dictate a lot in your life. Your mind must mature, just like the bank account if you're from the streets. Otherwise, this is what we get. Shit sad as F. Okay? True. He said, that's what people don't get. Imagine Al Capone went on TV and said, I killed dudes. I killed that dude. I bragged about it, made millions off of it, and only got caught because of a close circle informant. We would call Capone the best criminal ever, but that's what Thug, YB, and Durk have been doing, bragging to millions of people and somehow not getting Ricos. I mean, 4PF is not a music label, or CBFW now. Lol. New Age kingpins are richer than all the OGs. They are dealing with literally the dumbest police department in the country, though. Not a coincidence that Durk only got caught when he did something out of town in a place with real police. That's a fact. That is a fact. Okay, Durk fucked up doing this in LA, right? When Thang died, a dude died, another dude died way Thang in. Okay, Goyard on the OTF looking hard as hell. That's going to cost. Imagine going from that to jail. MF must be sick to his stomach. If you think Goyard made a 3D OTF painting, you're hilarious. It was some artist that did a custom job for a few grand. Anyway, you get the gist. So Durk's basically admitted to this murder numerous times, all right? And this is an even more detailed breakdown of Durk snitching on himself, all right? Not just that, okay, but then you got this absolute classic. Uh-oh. All right, I can't play you this, all right, but this is Aha, Lil Durk's song, released right after Stephon Mack was killed. All right. And right after that post, we saw that post. Aha for D-Thang, OTF. And then he releases the song Aha for D-Thang for OTF. That's exactly what was going on. It was full of lyrics, got the D-Thang chain, not the D-Thang four-finger ring there. Snitched on himself through and through. Lil Durk basically admitted he got get back for D-Thang and got Stephon Mack killed. In the music video for Aha, it was released a month after Stephon was killed. The video was shot in Tay-Town with a bunch of members in the background of the video. One of Stephon's killers, AJ from Mike City, who is heavily affiliated with Tay-Town, was there. And then there's the lyrics where he snitches on himself. My brother D-Thang just got killed and I've been slow since, but we got back on their ass. I bet they know this. And on Bro, I'm speaking facts. This ain't no diss. Keep the police out my business. We don't post shit. I think you do. Keep the police. This is the arrogance, right? Bro, keep the police out my business, bro. Keep the police out my business. For D-Thang, Aha. Keep, bro, these snitches, bro. These YouTubers, these commentary channels, these documentary, bro, they snitching, bro. For D-Thang, haha, tweeting about the murder, posting it on my story. You're a dummy, okay? Keep the police out my business. We don't post shit. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Trigger happy I be with Zoo and them. We on 4-6. They like Durk, his ass a singer. He won't smoke shit. You can believe whatever you want. I got your folks hit. Aha. Lil Durk basically openly stating he got get back for D-Thang, but some key things to note. While self-snitching within the verse, and before he states, I got your folks hit, he can be seen throwing a bundle of money in the air. Now, you might ask why this is important. According to the FBI, the killing was a murder for hire and the shooters were paid. Yep, throw money in the air in the music. Yep, brilliant. Smart. Really smart. At the end of the verse, Durk says, I got your folks hit. Aha. Note the last word he uses being aha. Now, why is this important? Because in the above picture, Durk states, for D-Thang, aha, while celebrating Stephon's murder. Quite interesting he uses the same aha phrase in the music video where he's self-snitching and in the IG post where he's celebrating Stephon's death. He is not very smart. While self-snitching within the verse and before he states, I got your folks here, he can be seen throwing a bundle of money in the air. You might ask, why is this important? According to the FBI, the killing was a murder for hire and the shooters were paid. The last thing Durk says in the verse is, you can believe whatever you want. I got your folks hit, which is him basically saying he got someone killed for D-Thang. Right? People saying, can't believe you anymore. 3 of your stories got debunked. Stop the cap already. All right? Don't know about that. So they got back before Stephon Mack. That's not who he's talking about. Says they didn't. And if you're going to say they got J-Ski and Oil, I doubt it. Madville killed them, which was confirmed by them. So there were allegedly a couple of murders before that, but It seems like this is what he was talking about. People hating on this guy, right? People hating on the truth. People hate on the facts, man. It is actually crazy. So, yes, okay, one of the killers was there for the music video. Stefan Max killer AJ from Mike City was at Lil Durk's Aha music video. The same video that he dropped less than a month after Stefan died, and he was claiming he got back for D-Thang and got someone's folks hit. There he is. You literally got the killer in the video less than a month later. You are dumb. At this point, you're a waste. What? At this point, you're a racist white boy. Do this type of lying research on white biker gangs that kill people and sell drugs. Whole time, Chusky was right. Chusky was right. See, these are the kind of Lil Durk fanboys that will just be like, no, you're racist. You're racist. You're racist. No, do this type of lying on white biker gangs. Like, bro, Lil Durk is a dummy, and Lil Durk has contributed to the deaths of numerous African Americans who deserve to be alive. How about that? They're saying Durk going to get picked up in a few months. SMH. Yep, it happened. It happened. Saying bro could be clapping India fat ass, but it's probably going to be in federal prison for life. That's insane. They said he was right on the money. Everyone was right. Okay. This doesn't mean anything. Polo G was also there. Well, it does mean something, right? It does mean something. Polo was there because he was a famous rapper and he did previous work with Durk. This guy's a random nobody that killed Stefan Mack. So tell me why he'd be there other than for the reason that Durk hired him to kill Stefan Mack. The FBI is alleging 2 shooters were hired and Durk celebrated the day Steph died and said it was for D-Thang. He said this is for D-Thang. The same music video that AJ was at was one where Durk was stating he got back for D-Thang and got people's folks hit and released it a month after Stefan died. I don't know why they're downvoting this because it's facts. I wonder what else they're going to attach to Durk because he lives all the way in Cali and is a millionaire. The guy's a random dude. What if he had personal problems with Steph, then killed him? HK also celebrated that McAdoo died even though Mac didn't kill him. None of what you said is relevant. Stop trying to be smart. The FBI is saying Stefan's killers were hired, you dumb F. This guy isn't random dude to Durk. He's affiliates with Tay-Town and Mike City, which are sets Durk's affiliated with, and he was at his music video shoot, you dumbass. I'm not saying Durk will 100% be indicted, but your arguments are weak. I hope you go home and think about your intelligence levels, all right? Authorities are saying it was murder. Yes, okay. People want to cope, all right? They want to cope. Wait a minute. Here's AJ's Facebook. You can see pictures on there of him. It's 100% him. Okay, that link didn't work. But anyway, this is the next thing I wanted to show you. This is AJ Mike City. He apparently left his phone in the stolen car during the Stefan Mack murder, okay? That is apparently the car left in the console, all right? It says AJ from Mike City was not the sharpest shooter, as he would forget his own phone in the Chrysler they used to transport themselves with to the youth program center where they killed Stefan Mack. Powell would also forget to throw away the cup with his DNA on it. Funniest thing is, 45 minutes after Stefan's murder, AJ's girlfriend called AT&T to report his phone stolen. Ain't no way, bro. He could have just left his phone at home and cleaned out the car before torching that MF. Says what's even crazier is that when AJ was running away, he was screaming for Powell with his nickname, saying, yo, Marley, come on, Marley. And a Ring camera caught that shit on camera. The documentary, Get Back for D-Thang. I might have to check that out at some point. So people are saying, bro, what? Dumbass MFs, bro. Could have said bro or yo or something. You got to be thinking about that in the heat of the moment. But CPD could have solved this case. They probably don't got the research. Case been solved. Lil Durk got a complaint for this shit too, because one of them kept asking if Durk paid yet. All right. Apparently they got paid. It is what it is. Okay. They made a video playing Lil Durk flashing racks after getting paid. That's also the case. Everybody wants to just try and be like, yo, like, this is the video of them, of Mike City AJ showing off money with a Lil Durk song. Said that we've been sliding through their blocks and they don't know we have. Okay. He snitched on himself and the whole thing. He posted the money. Right. Apparently they would also forget a Jimmy's Burger on Walgreens receipt seen in the picture. Feds would trace the receipts back. And who would be seen in the surveillance footage? AJ's girlfriend getting in and out of the Chrysler. Oh no. Is that the burger spot? Cooked. These dudes are just plain slow. Why would you connect your phone to a stolen vehicle? Depending on the car, your phone would connect to the CarPlay and save. Stopping to get food in a stolen car, you finna kill somebody in. Oh my lord. It says dudes in Chicago be doing the sloppiest hits, then still go back and brag about it and self-snitch. They really don't take the police serious. Same with the O Block 5. They literally pretty much got pulled over in the murder vehicle right after the murder happened and still went on to self-snitch because they know police be knowing but still won't arrest them. It's just crazy. Okay, it is just deranged levels. It's lunacy. So what's interesting, okay, is the government already identified this case in court documents all the way back in 2025. So I've got some of the paperwork here from the original court documents that I can show you. There's my other documents. I'm going to pull them up real quick. So here they are. So this is some of the paperwork. It says, specifically, the government has carefully selected narrow pieces of evidence showing the two alleged shooters in the Chicago case discussed payment from OTF and the defendant banks just 2 weeks after the murder of a well-known Chicago gang member, Stephon Mack. The government intends to admit a handful of short text messages showing that one shooter texted the other, "What's up, OTF? What you mean? They not paying? Did Durk give you that money?" And DNA and fingerprint evidence link the shooters to the crime scene. The government also intends to introduce a social media post that one of the alleged shooters posted shortly after this text thread showing him holding money while a song by the defendant Banks is played in the background. I'll show you that a minute ago. Although laying the foundation to prove these discrete facts would potentially require 3 or 4 witnesses, the government anticipates such testimony would not take up an unnecessarily lengthy amount of time, especially when weighed against the probative value of this 404B evidence. Moreover, should either of the defendants be charged in the Chicago case plead guilty prior to the trial, the government would likely propose admitting certified conviction records to establish the shooter's identity, which would specifically streamline presentation of this evidence. What? Should either of the defendants charged in the Chicago case plead guilty prior to the trial? What? Oh, that's what happened. Oh, that's exactly what's happening. Okay. So this is really bad for Durk, all right? And people are in denial. People are in absolute denial. So it was initially reported that Durk wouldn't be getting charged in this situation, but that turned out not to be quite accurate. So this is what they were saying back in February, and shout out to Durk's imaginary manager, Durk All Day on Twitter. They'd be doing all the big updates. Okay, this might not be the case no more, but back in February, they were saying, well, the government can't bring up the Stephon Mack murder. The government can use the surveillance footage of Von dying. The government can use public pressure regarding Slide for Von comments. They can use Durk's statement regarding Slide for Von in the academics interview. They can use Durk's alleged threats sent to Lamron Rich show. They're allowed to use the Pipe It Up message sent by Durk. They can use the voice memo sent by OTF to someone else. They can bring up the attempted shooting on Quando in 2021. They can only show the music video that was reward for the killing or the relationship, only screenshots, not full videos. And they can use the lyrics quoted in Who Wants Smoke and Aha. The judge hasn't ruled on those yet. So basically, they were saying they can't bring it up. But then, this is just according. So basically, right, originally they were saying that the government can't bring this up, but then suddenly out of nowhere, they're now saying that actually they're going to be bringing this up, and they're going to be bringing it up alongside the 2019 shooting that Durk and King Von and Bezu and Hellerbands were involved in that was allegedly an attempted murder. So this is in Didi's efforts to sever from the trial and get his bail. Said Mr. Wilson already spent 18 months in pretrial custody. Trajectory points to much longer. The government informed defense that it's considering filing supplemental charges by June the 3rd. New charges would include 2 alleged incidents as direct evidence, including conduct the government affirmatively withdrew from its case in chief 3 months ago. Supplemental charges of that scope will not permit the August 20th, 2026 trial date to hold, and Mr. Wilson's pretrial detention is poised to become indefinite. So, interestingly enough, okay, they're arguing and saying, look, you said you weren't going to use none of this, now suddenly you're going to be using it. And the reason this shift probably has occurred is because of that plea agreement that Marley put in, all right? So basically now Marley's took a plea agreement. The other alleged shooter, Mike City AJ, he also pled guilty in April 2026 as well. So this news came out a month ago. AJ Mike City pleads guilty, admits to have committed the murder with Individual B in exchange for money from Individual C. I wonder who Individual C is going to be. Durk. Individual C is Durk. Him and the government agree the sentence should be between 30 and 45 years. That's before helping out. Right, that's before helping out to put Individual C away. On the afternoon of January the 27th, 2022, defendant and Individual B drove the Chrysler to the Youth Peace Center of Roseland, located 420 West 111th Street in Chicago, the Youth Peace Center. Defendant and Individual B, Marley, were there to shoot and kill victim A, Stephon Mack, as consideration for the promise and agreement to pay a sum of money from Individual C, Lil Durk, the voice. To that end, defendant was armed with the Ruger AR-556, and Individual B was also in possession of a firearm. So he's recommended 35 to 45 years. All right, that's all well and good until someone starts telling. They said, so Individual C is Ken. They're saying Risky Road dropped the location. Wonder why the feds didn't wrap up the one who did it as an accessory to murder. Saying they're possibly dead too. Saying Durk's smart for making Ken be the middleman. Is he? Is he? Ain't no sneaker war money make them killers pop outside who you ain't seen before. So basically, all right. Yeah. It said, yo, AJ made a C-Day mistake dropping his cell phone at the crime scene. Looked like Tea Party compared to his dumbass mistakes. Leaving the phone in a stolen car, calling out your partner's government name out loud. All right? It's just crazy. Okay? So, according to court documents, basically, I've already shown you that, yeah. So, according to court documents, prosecutors basically used this against Durk to get bail. And they said that he had actually placed money on way more targets in an effort to allegedly get back for D-Thang. So let me just see if I can get this to you here too. So this is from my document. This is basically just some more background from the paperwork on Lil Durk. So it says, Durk's a famous rapper from the south side of Chicago. According to CHS1, conversations with CPD gang officers who are familiar with the Black Disciples, social media postings, public source research, and a review of Durk's lyrics. Durk is a member of the Lamron faction of the BDs, and his brother Dante Banks was shot and killed outside of a nightclub. Apparently, Durk is still offering money for people to kill those responsible for his brother's murder, and he will pay for any GD to be killed. D-Thang was killed by members of Dump Street, a GD faction, and the South Side. Individual A was close to Stephon Mack. Individual A is in pretrial custody for another double murder, so he can't be got to, and that's why they killed Mack. That's story goes, right? Story has it. So here are some of the other bounties that have been tied to Durk, and this includes 2 other Dump Street members that were killed after D-Thang's death. So are you ready for this? Allegedly, these are the bags dropped by Lil Durk. 10 people that allegedly were killed at the direction of Lil Durk. Now, this is crazy because I always put 6. I would have put FBG Duck on there too. But I didn't know, right? These are definitely big enemies, but they're saying these are the bags. They're saying Lil Jojo, they're saying Motor and Side. I heard a different theory of that. They're saying Mubu Crump, 051 Melly. They're saying Durk dropped the bag. Oil and J-Ski, I heard that one before. Stephon Mack, FBG Cash, and Lil Pap. This is insane, okay? So they're saying, people saying, bro, Durk didn't get Millie killed, and y'all know this is just dumb shit chasing it. All right, depends if OP means they had money on their heads, because you could have a bag on your head and die from something unrelated. That's facts. I think Durk could have dropped a bag on all of these people, plus potentially some more. Okay, it's crazy. They're saying, I heard Nate tried to contact Melly for that money. That don't really add up. It says, I think only the last 3 he could have put money on them, but it's a point where everyone wanted to kill Jojo. That's me. They're saying Durk get him. Yeah, Defo Durk put a bag on Kurt Mack from Joe City. OTF Twin killed him. Damn. People saying I always felt that Durk got Kurt Mack and Crump hit. 4-6 killed Kurt Mack. I think Durk paid him for it. Damn, Durk dropping a bag on everyone. Main takeaways from the 4-hour roast of OTF. The internet made that man trick himself out of his own spot. The 1,000-mile stare in his eyes is understandable. The universe tried and tried to keep that man away from King Von. It lost that battle. He left 10 kids fatherless. November the 2020 was the catalyst for so much bullshit. It's unreal how many people's lives were affected from that punch that Von threw. Interesting. So, last couple of things I'm going to show you, okay? Following all of these murders, members from both Durk and D-Thang's camp were extensively claiming the hit, okay? So, this is going around, all right? Wait, this is... So, J-Ski was one of the people that actually allegedly was on the hit list. So... J-Ski and Oil were the first 2 people from Dump Street that were killed after D-Thang's murder. I didn't know this, but J-Ski was liking the post about Durk's brother D-Thang getting killed. Wait, OTF D-Thang accused killers shot and killed in Chicago. J-Ski liked this post. Wait, how did he like that post, or is that something else? Wait, what? D-Thang Street's really not letting up. 2021. They're saying, damn, so OTF D-Thang accused killers shot and killed in Chicago. But how's J-Ski liking it? That don't make no sense. So it says, this is too blatant. Lamron having a ton of fun with this. Either the theory is wrong or they've got no fear of the police. It says, police don't go off of hearsay. They need 100% evidence or stone cold proof. They're saying BJ liked the same post but on another page. When them Ricos come down, a whole lot of people are going to be sad. If the Ricos do come down, it won't be for posts like this because people running those pages don't know shit about what's going on, blah, blah, blah. Let's just peep J-Ski. Oh, so this is a different, it's got to be a different J-Ski, right? It's got to be a different J-Ski 300 gang that's affiliated with Durk. There were also like other ops, basically. Okay, no. I understand now. I think what this is saying is like this little headline is new information. But then it's like they're basically posting that J-Ski liked it. It says RIP D-Thang, the street's not letting up 2021. So look, here's another example, right? They're saying this is Gutter Gang members dissing D-Thang heavy on J-Ski and Oil Day. Newski Gang and DP members respond back saying it was get back for D-Thang. So basically this is saying that they were dissing E-Thang on the day that J-Ski and Oil died and basically repping him. So it says smoking D-Thang, put that fire on their ass, got them clicking together. Barbershops, look at it. It's going to have music I can't play. Another post says Oil and J-Ski Dump Street Day. They were both killed together on this day in 2021. And then they putting on, basically putting some music. When Thang died, a dude died, another dude died, we Thangin'. So people are claiming it. They're bigging it up. He said that last thing is the best thing, smoking in a wood. They're saying smoking my favorite too. Playing Durk's song. So they're all celebrating, all right? People were dissing D-Thang. Durk's friends are celebrating these murders. Some people are mourning them. But it's just all so brazen. It says D-Thang's killer's still out here, but in Chicago, when you kill somebody from the same state, is it still a get back? It's exhausting, right? I think Durk's in big trouble. Okay, I've made no secret of that. I think it's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long day for him when he gets to trial. Okay, I think they will add these murders to the case on the 3rd. We're gonna have to wait and see if that actually happens. But this is my personal opinion. I think they're gonna add those murders, and I think it's just this. They're just gonna make this case so hard for him to beat. And really, you know, innocent till proven guilty. But just from the outside, it looked like. It sounded like from everything that he was saying and putting out there that he saw himself as this kingpin who was dropping bags on people. That's just is what it is. So let me know what you guys think. You know, you can call me a snitch, all of that stuff, but like I've got the facts on this situation and I think it's really bad. So I think Lil Durk's in big trouble. I would like to know if they're going to put these charges on him officially. And if and when they do, I will be sure to keep you guys informed. I will catch you guys in the next video. That was all I had for today. Peace.